Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're putting two cloud heavyweights in the ring, Amazon's EventBridge and Azure's Event Grid. They both solve a similar problem, how your applications communicate, but they go about it in totally different ways. All right, let's dive in. So, first things first, let's talk about why this even matters. The way we build software has fundamentally changed. Gone are the days of services constantly bugging each other for updates. Instead, modern apps just react to things that happen. This is called event-driven architecture, and it's what makes today's apps so responsive and scalable. And at the very heart of this whole approach is something called an event bus. Honestly, the best way to think of it is like a central post office for your applications. When something happens in one service, it sends an event to the post office, which then automatically delivers it to any other service that needs to know. It's brilliant because it means your services aren't all tangled up with each other. Okay, so let's meet the two main players in the cloud world, Amazon EventBridge and Microsoft's Azure Event Grid. They're both trying to be that central post office for you, but as you're about to see, their approaches and their biggest strengths, well, they're worlds apart. First up is Amazon EventBridge. Now, this actually started as a feature within AWS called CloudWatch Events, but it has grown into something much bigger. Amazon's grand vision here is to be the universal connector for your entire stack, not just your AWS services, but also all the third-party tools you use. And its rival is Azure Event Grid. Microsoft's play is a bit different. They designed this to be the absolute eventing backbone for the entire Azure ecosystem. Think of it less like a post office and more like the central nervous system that lets all the different parts of Azure communicate instantly and automatically. You can actually see their different philosophies right in their marketing slogans. EventBridge is all about broad connectivity, connecting AWS, your own systems, and third-party apps. Event Grid, on the other hand, is laser-focused on one thing, delivering events reliably at a massive scale within its world. And that difference is key. So, how do they actually pull this off? Let's pop the hood, because their architecture is where you really start to see the daylight between them. It all boils down to a central hub versus a native fabric. Think of EventBridge like a grand central station. Events are coming in from all over the place, and it's designed to be super modular and flexible to handle all that traffic. EventGrid is more like the integrated subway system for the city of Azure. It's built from the ground up to connect every single part of that ecosystem seamlessly and efficiently. So let's talk about EventBridge's superpower, because it really has one, and that's its native integration with third-party software as a service, or SaaS tools. This is a huge deal. It means you can get events from places like Salesforce or Zendesk flowing directly into your AWS environment without reading a single line of custom code. It's a massive win for anyone using a lot of different tools. Event Grid, on the other hand, totally plays to its home field advantage. Its strength is its incredibly deep, seamless integration with other Azure services. If you want to trigger, say, an Azure function, the instant a file gets uploaded to blob storage, Event Grid is simply the most natural, powerful, and efficient way to do it. It just works. Okay, time to get a little technical, because when we look under the hood at the features and performance, we start to see some really important trade-offs that might make or break your decision. First, let's talk about speed. And wow, this is a big one. Amazon recently announced a massive 94% reduction in latency for EventBridge. For any application that has to react in the blink of an eye, we're talking fraud detection, real-time gaming, this kind of performance boost is an absolute game changer. Now, this chart reveals some really critical trade-offs. You can see right away that Event Grid can handle much larger events, a full megabyte. That's perfect for richer data. But EventBridge has its own ace in the hole, the Schema Registry, a fantastic tool that helps your developers discover and use event structures. And also, don't sleep on EventGrid's support for MQTT. That's huge for IoT devices. Now, this next point is one of the most important for developers to understand. Azure Event Grid supports the Open CloudEvents standard. This is a big deal. It's a standard from the Cloud Native Computing Foundation that defines how event data should be described. By using it, Azure is actively helping you avoid getting locked into their platform, which makes it way easier to build systems that can work across different clouds. So after all that, we get to the final verdict. How do you actually choose between them? Well, it really comes down to a simple question. What are you building, and where are you building it? You know, this quote really sums it all up perfectly. Your decision is almost always going to be guided by your existing setup. If you live and breathe Azure, Event Grid is going to feel like a natural extension of your world. But if your main challenge is connecting to a whole universe of external SaaS tools, EventBridge is the clear winner. So to make the right call, you can just walk through these 4 questions. 1. What's your primary ecosystem? Are you all in on AWS or Azure? 2. What are your integrations? SaaS tools or native cloud services? 3. Model your costs. The pricing models are different, so see which one fits your use case. And 4. How important are open standards to you? Is something like CloudEvents a must-have for your future plans? And this whole comparison really leaves us with a bigger, more profound question for the future of the cloud. As the entire world moves to be more event-driven, will we see everything unify around open standards like CloudEvents, letting services talk freely across any platform? Or will the powerful, deeply integrated ecosystems of each cloud giant win out? That right there is the key battleground to watch.